What is up, guys? Welcome, interwebnet people, to another Talks on Tour interview. This time we have the lovely Cara Jane Cosplayer with us. How are you, sweetie?
I'm good. How are you?
We're all good here, and so we're doing pretty well in the government grounding. What have you been up to?
Exactly the same. Staying in, keeping social distancing rules when I do go out. You know,
Good.
Same old at the minute.
Yeah. So, who are you? You've got some horns on. Who are you as today?
I'm doing Casual 02 today.
02. Where is she from? Because I'm not familiar with that character.
Okay, it's from a anime called Darling in the Franxx. It's by the same creators as Kill la Kill and I can't remember the other one, but it's very Gundam based kind of robots and very good anime. If you like twist ending animes, definitely go and watch them. Because it's one of those. It follows
Until you mentioned the anime, I didn't reckon. I know of the anime, but I've never watched the anime. But, what have you been watching lately?
Well, I've just recently got into Evangelion, actually.
Yes.
My partner decided to show me the movies that they had released before. I struggle to really invest in an anime, so it's kind of like try and get me into something. We start with a shorter kind of thing to really kind of see if it would pack the plot in a way. So the movies were really good. Like, I really enjoyed them so far. So we're currently looking into starting the actual anime series.
Yeah.
Mostly, ironically, at the minute, it's just been Netflixing and just binging on Netflix at the moment.
I must be massively out of touch because I don't have Netflix.
Are you?
At the moment, I can't see myself paying like £9 a month to get something.
Oh, it's worth it, Steve. It's worth it.
I know.
Are you watching all the Studio Ghibli films, Cara?
I adore Studio Ghibli, so I was waiting for the third wave. So they started in February, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I waited for the third wave because I love The Cat Returns. I know Spirited Away was in the first wave, but I prefer like Arrietty, Spirited Away, Ponyo. Absolutely love it. I've yet to watch Howl's Moving Castle, but that's the next one.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant.
Me and Helen have got a very special connection to Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Our first dance was to Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh.
To the song Promise of the World.
It's a good video of your dance.
Instrumental version.
You'll have to show me.
Michael was there.
I can find it.
Yeah, it's on there somewhere. I think isn't it on your general channel, Michael? That our highlights video.
No. Your dance one is in your own Google link because I wanted that to be private for you to.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll link you to the entire video, and it's about halfway in.
Brilliant. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So I'll link it to you. I'll put it on Google Drive so people can watch it but can't edit it. They can just access it. Yeah. So it's an easy way of doing it. Yeah. But me and Helen danced to that, and that was really, really nice. That's a really nice dance.
Yeah. The musical scorings of Ghibli films are just sublime. Like, even if you don't get into the plot and the animation, listen to them for the musicals, like the musical soundtrack, because it's just one of those. It relaxes you so much, and you can feel the storytelling through that as well.
Are you a fan of the dubs, or do you prefer the Japanese voiceover?
I watch a mix, because my partner, he watches the dubbed, whereas I watch sub. So we both kind of try. Sometimes we do have a little bit of a disagreement of how we're watching it, but I personally believe that, or my personal kind of thing is, if it's done in sub, that's the way they wanted to do it, and then that's when you can carry on. Yeah. But I find that if you're getting someone into like anime and things like that, definitely watch dubs instead, and then see if they want to go more into subs when they've got not a coping, but understanding of how anime can be at times, because it's a definite weird kind of genre in a weird way that Westerners sometimes don't really like. We have Western kind of animes, so like Pokemon, stuff like that. That's very, we've all grown up with that. So with animes that have come from like Japan and things, it's the way they presented it, and it's slowly integrating people to watch it.
Yeah, it's mostly depending if people can watch the screen and read the subtitles at the same time, though.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. I grew up watching subtitles all the time as a kid, so I'm just like, yeah, can do it.
You read the subtitles, then you suddenly miss a plot point on screen, and it gets a bit weird. So watching the dubs first, you know what's going on.
Steve, you've got to train your eyes to look at two things at the same time, like like that. That's how I watch my anime.
Like now, like when you first get into it, it's why I think beginners have such a difficulty to watch anime when it's subbed, because you're there kind of like, I don't want to miss a thing, but then you're trying to do the show. So.
Yeah, that's how that happens.
But you do have to just kind of push for it. You start like, I now can just read the screen and watch it at the same time without having a second thought with it, really.
Oh, definitely. I mean, a lot of the anime I'm watching, they just focus on one bit anyway, and you're just reading the text.
Anime are you watching?
Not saying anymore.
Oh dear.
Does it happen to have plot?
Two big plots.
Oh dear.
But the Studio Ghibli films, the dubbed ones on Netflix, they're a lot done by Disney, and I believe Howl's Moving Castle, it's got a young Christian Bale dubbing over Howl.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know that in Cat
very
Returns,
sexy voice.
With that's why you watch it. Just, not for that, for Howl. But no, I know the Cat Returns has Anne Hathaway.
Oh right, yeah.
The English dub, which is really, I grew up knowing her as from Princess Diaries, so when I was like sitting there going, I recognise this voice, and then it comes up as Anne Hathaway, I'm like, no.
Yeah. It's strange though when you watch like an anime or a show like that, and then you suddenly watch something like the film that the character's in, like a real life film, and you're thinking, hang on, is that person? Did he voice it? And then you suddenly on Wikipedia, and it's like, oh my god!
Well, it's like
oh my god, Batman is in Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It's like Marvel, for example, with Karen Gillan. I knew her as Amelia Pond, and then I'm there like, oh my god, she's Nebula. Oh my! And then I remember turning to my friends, going, "It's Amelia Pond," and they're like, "Who?" And I'm like,
Karen Gillan.
I have them all the time, but the thing is, though, it's because a lot of voice actors, especially English voice actors, they do so many different characters that you'll watch an anime and you'll think, hang on a minute, is that person?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you'll realise that they're doing like the same voice over and over and over again, but different characters, different series. It's like they've only just subtly changed their voice, but it's a completely different character.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't. Ooh, that's me.
That's right.
No, it's one of those kind of you're just sitting there, kind of going, I know that, I really know that, and it's like with Crow. When he was voiced by Vic Mignogna. Yeah. I know, topical. No, but then I was like,
it's fine.
I recognised him because I watched Full Metal Alchemist, and I'm like,
it's the same person.
Like, it just blows your mind, kind of how many roles. And then he's also like one of his underrated ones in terms of a dub is from Vampire Night, and I'm just there like, no, he's not that character. And then I'm like quickly on my phone going, no.
I went up to Yorkshire back in May of last year, literally a year ago, and I was privileged enough to get J. Michael Tatum on interview.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because the year before he actually remembered me. I went up in 2017, I think it was 2017, and I went in my Grell outfit. And I literally walked straight up to his table in full outfit, slammed my chainsaw onto his desk, looked him square in the eye, and shouted at him, "Why don't you love me?" And he loved that. Full Sebastian voice back at me. He was like, "I do love you, Grell, but I can't live with you. I can't do anything with you until the master's dead." And And as I turned around, I said, "Right, where is he?"
This is when you could have turned around and he's just standing there like this, going.
Yeah, yeah. He's a great guy. He's a great guy because he always goes to when he came to Yorkshire the first and second time when I met him, he always brings his partner Brandon along.
Yeah. And
Helen was privileged enough to interview Brandon. So Helen got Brandon's interview. I partially got J. Michael Tatum, but my friend Harley did the interview. She was doing a course for university, like a journalism thing, and she was actually the only person who actually did journalism. Went out and got an interview with somebody.
Yeah.
But the one person I want to get, and I don't know if he's ever going to come over to the UK again, is a guy called Billy West.
Heard of the name? I can't replace it, but I've heard of that name.
He is big in Futurama. He does Fry. He does Professor Farnsworth. He's massive in Futurama. I want to get him.
Do I have an interview of Billy West on my channel, old channel?
I don't know. Do you?
I might do.
I have to watch it. Now, the reason why I want to get him on interviews is because I'm doing a Zoidberg costume.
Oh, fantastic!
The only bit I've got to do is the head and the claws and the feet, and that's it. The rest of it's done.
Yeah.
It's just getting it finished off. Trying to put felt over like a sponge head. It's not impossible. Really difficult. Yeah. But the thing is, I'm going to have
to I used to do a good voice of him, but I can't do it now.
Yeah.
Let's just throw that one in the bin.
If I ever get Zoidberg done, I've got a performance that I want to do. I want to get somebody random, even like the person doing the microphone work. I want to get him sat on a table, and I want to do the so I'm your doctor, and you sit down and open your mouth. And then he goes, not that mouth. I only have one. And says, well, sit down, shut up, and open whatever mouth you eat with.
Oh.
And I want to do that.
Just get the announcers. Get the announcers at these events.
I love doing it. The best costume thing I ever did, it was like really early in my cosplay life. And I went to Northampton in 2016, literally the weekend I met Helen. And I went as Grell. I went as my Cheshire Cat Grell. And they hadn't got anybody to do the announcing for the costume competition. So I did it for them.
Yeah.
And what happened was I wanted to enter the competition as well. So I said, right at the end, I said to the person doing the music, I said, put this music on and just look away. Just don't watch. So I literally banged out the entire first verse of Dude Looks Like a Lady.
I also have that on film as well.
Yeah, you've got that on film. It's on my YouTube somewhere. Right, it's on my YouTube. Right?
Oh, I was frozen on my screen. Oh, there she is.
That's right, back. Now, what happened was I did my thing, and there was an unsuspecting guy in the front row, and I literally came off the stage, sat on his knee, looked at him square in the eye and says, "Is this your girlfriend?" He goes, "Yeah." I says, "Not anymore, she's not." And then walked off. I was busting a gut laughing the entire time. It was brilliant. It's on YouTube somewhere. I think it's on my YouTube somewhere. It's on Michael's when he did the video. Also, it's there somewhere.
Yeah.
It was so fun. It's where I've got all this from, because I did that, and then Talksontour things started, and then I started doing interviews and things like that, and emceeing events, guesting events, all that sort of stuff.
So, Cara, when did you start cosplaying?
Well, it actually delved from me doing plus-size modelling back in 2012, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
So I used to do plus-size modelling back then, and then someone had told me about cosplay, and I'm like, oh, okay. Started doing costume shows, which the first one I remember vividly doing was Tim Burton's villains. So but we all had to do male villains.
Mm-hmm.
So we all had to kind of gender bend a character. I got Stains from Alice in Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to make all the costume. I had like the massive scar with the heart patch, corset, all that kind of palaver. And then got talking to the girls that were already on that shoot as well, because we had Sweeney Todd, we had loads of Batman villains from Tim Burton's Batman. Got talking, and they mentioned that there were conventions, and my first convention was 2014 as Elsa.
Hmm.
And I remember that cosplay vividly because it was just, I bought a blue dress which was rhinestone one shoulder, made the cape myself with like glitter glue and everything, and remember going to this convention and I just loved it because people were just so friendly, like they knew that it was kind of like, you knew it was a first cosplay, you knew it was kind of that kind of style, but it was so friendly. I mean, I met the voice actor for K9 and he was like, "Sir," and I'm like, "Yay!" You know, it was so invigorating. And then I introduced my sister that same year, and I did Kurumu from Rosario Vampire. So, and it's just delved down that rabbit hole, really.
Yeah, it's something that I've enjoyed doing because people have probably read my story on Facebook where I was about 5-6 years ago. I was a recluse. I didn't go out, didn't have many friends, things like that. And somebody just happened to mention that there was a Comic-Con nearby, and I just went just in normal costume. And as soon as I got there, I saw all the costumes. I was like, I want in on this.
It's that kind of like when you first walk in and you just see everyone. I mean, I remember seeing this cosplay and they had a massive foam dragon attached around them. I can't remember the actual character, but I know the cosplayer because she then the next year did Valka from How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
And I just remember kind of looking at her like, oh my god, this is amazing. You can see the amount of talent that these people have. And it was just something that I loved it. I did performing arts in college. I did it theatre and education in uni, so I love doing that kind of performance side. So it just delved from there and really grown, really.
Yeah, so I've been doing it for about 5-6 years now, there or thereabouts, and I've met so many nice people through the cosplays and the conventions, and even some of the store holders. They get to know their clients, and there's one company that I regularly have a chat to, and they go to all sorts of conventions. There's a company called Genki Gear, and
I've heard of it.
I wandered around Birmingham as Koro Sensei once with a friend of mine who did a Nagisa, and I was just wandering around, and we saw the Genki Gear stall, and there was that T-shirt on it. It's on my Instagram of it says hentai age-old story of girl meets octopus.
Yeah.
And I just had to get a pic of it. Yeah, I had to get a pic of it. It was so funny. And every time I go now, they say, "Oh, you're that giant yellow octopus one." Yes, it's me.
It's really quite fun when a store holder recognises you, like, because everyone around you will recognise you because they follow your Insta or social media, or you are talking to them enough to basically go, "Oh, I'm going to be this character." But it's when a store holder will recognise you and go, "You were this year," and I'm like, "Okay."
So you remember me from last year?
Yeah.
I mean, I had one ages to go. I don't know if it's ever happened to either of you two, but I was wandering around in my Jiraiya costume. Just generally wandering, and I walked past this store that got loads of posters, loads of like wall scrolls, plushies, toys, things like that. Just wandered past it, and about 5 minutes later, I feel this tap on my shoulder, and it's the guy from the store that I just passed that says, "I really like your costume. I want you to have this." And he gave me a poster of Jiraiya and Naruto, a big A3 poster.
Oh wow!
And I thought, what? And says, "I just really like your costume. Just to have this." And I'm like, "Cheers, man! Thanks a lot."
That's brilliant.
Why can't that still be at every convention, you know, and just gift stuff away?
Well, you normally run around as Deadpool every convention.
I used to. Before I started annoying all the traders myself by walking around with a microphone, sticking the microphone in front of their faces. And commentary.
Like Deadpool, I know a lot of Deadpools get compared to the one in America. I can't remember his name.
D-Piddy.
Is that the one who does the CMVs? D-Piddy.
That's it. Yeah.
I love D-Piddy's videos, but I think it just gets a little bit OTT at times.
But I think it's weird. It's like, you remember the whole Harley Quinn episode of everyone like, "Oh, there's another Harley Quinn." It got to that with Deadpool's, and because of D-Piddy and his videos, a lot of people would assume that's what Deadpool's could be like.
Yeah.
It's not the same, really. But
yeah, so I don't disrespect the guy. Obviously, what he does.
Oh, no. I love what he does, but it's that kind of when you get that associated with a character.
Yeah. It's like you need to say. It's like you're setting an example, but do you go too far to then start setting a bad example? I mean, a lot of the Deadpools I've seen, they've been really, really fun. I've had a few in my CMVs before where they've been more than happy to stand there, have pictures taken, things like that. They'll act a little bit silly, a little bit stupid, but that's how Deadpool is. But don't go overboard with it.
Well, I was speaking to D. Piddy when I met him in London a couple of years ago, and he said
he came up with the CMV.
He said that he didn't really like playing Deadpool as much as he did with other characters because, let's say, Spider-Man was his favourite character ever. So he prefers to play Spider-Man, but everyone in the convention scene just wants him to mess around as Deadpool all the time.
Once you have that kind of familiar character that people recognise you for, that's the one that everyone's like, why aren't you bringing this out? Why aren't you doing it?
You're going to disappoint someone because they expect to see a certain cosplay that you're famous for.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people before when I put stuff up on like Instagram or Facebook, and it's like, what cosplay do you recognise me as? And it's always three. It's always Jiraiya, Grell, or Koro Sensei. One of those three. I mean, yes, I've got more.
Neo and Salem.
I love your Salem. I do like the Salem.
A lot of people love the Salem. The worst thing about that Salem is the wig, because the wig weighs as much as 3 bags of sugar just for the bun. And it's just one of those things that it's such a painful. I remember getting to halfway throughout the day, and normally cons like until 6 o'clock in the evening. I had to leave physically about 2:30 because the weight on my head just was doing this and just it was so heavy.
I don't know how people cope when they have like a wig and they sew literally another wig into it to get the volume.
Well, that's what all the Victorian people used to do, isn't it? The Victorian ladies, they used to put one wig on and another wig on and another wig on, and they looked like an elaborate toilet holder.
There's a friend of mine on Facebook and Instagram. One of my friends called Meg. If she watches this, she'll know who she is. No, not Megan. No, this is actual Meg. She does Grell a lot, and she also does Junko a lot. And the way she's done Junko's hair, it's like, how on earth is your neck not broken? I mean, it's literally out here, and she's put like 3 wigs in it and backcombed it to oblivion. Yeah, and it looks brilliant.
That's a cosplay I've actually wanted to do, but the wigs alone, you have to get base wig, because I do wig styling anyway, so I know how the basics of it. But people put 3 clips that side, 3 clips that side. You have to have like clips all in the back to stop it shift. It's a nightmare.
I think my Jiraiya was bad just with 1 ponytail clip, and that's it. I mean, I wanted to make that bigger, but I tried putting a second clip on. It just kept sliding off, and I just couldn't control it, so I just took it off.
How you can do that is actually installing a foam core and then wrapping hair around it, so it makes it lighter.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that, because there's another guy who I follow, a guy called Chris Mini, who does Cosplay Mini, and he does Goku a lot from Dragon Ball Z, and his hair is literally sculpted around a foam core, I believe, but it looks so good. I mean,
that's the thing, when you see wigs like that, you're kind of like, how did you do it? And cosplayers, like, you start learning the techniques. So foam cores and like expanding foam, ironically, if you do expanding foam into the shape and then carve it down, really works. I mean, I had to work on a wig for someone, and it's Jolter from the Fate series, which is a massive cat that's the same length as Rapunzel.
Wow. And
you have to kind of work out the weight distribution, and I kind of ended up doing it as Wes, but originally it was going to be a phone call. So you know how to. You do gather a lot of tips from other cosplayers.
Yeah.
But it depends on your kind of preference and style.
Yeah. Did you ever see on Facebook on the news ages and ages and ages ago about that woman who sprayed what she thought was hairspray and it wasn't? It was expanding foam.
No.
She thought it was mousse, and she sprayed expanding foam in her hair. Oh my god!
Just cracking it off.
The thing is, there was a picture of her, I think. She was sat in a hospital chair with the can of expanding foam stuck in the hair. Oh my god.
Cosplay, like everyday household item, standing phone.
Yeah. Oh, that to me, that obviously it wasn't funny to her at the time, but she was like made semi-famous virally because of it.
You've got to look back and laugh at that kind of thing, though. Otherwise, you're just always going to be like resenting it.
Have you had any like cosplay go wrong that was quite embarrassing? I mean, what was your embarrassing cosplay moment?
I've had a couple. Salem, the first version I did her, I had her hair down, and unfortunately, the body paint basically it's ridiculous. It's pure white against pure black, so it's definitely going to stain.
Yeah.
And throughout the day, I was looking, and just the neckline of this started just going white, and it just started going everywhere. So it looked like at the end of the day, pretty much just melted in. And then it got to a point where someone had accidentally like leant on it, and I just felt everything peeling back, and it was just like, okay, this hurts. And I just remember getting back to the hotel that night and looking and just going, I look like Count Olaf right now from like Lemony Snicket, because there's the receding hair. I've got all this kind of makeup on for one of his disguises, it felt like. And just looking and going, why did people let me out like this?
I mean, I will say I had an embarrassing moment. It wasn't embarrassing for me. It was embarrassing for the person that was there at the time. And I was in Manchester a few years back, and I dressed in my Talcocker outfit. But this is like the version 1 of it, where I wore skin-coloured tights and the cycle shorts. And I was walking through the Comic-Con, and this guy comes up behind me, smacks me on the backside, and says, "You want to come back to my place after this convention?" But the thing is, I didn't say anything. I led him on. Didn't say a word. I just like nodded and things like that.
You're a trap.
And as we were walking out, the door, I literally turned around and said, "Dude, you realise I'm a guy, right?" And he was like, "Oh, God!" He disappeared.
Oh,
no. I literally turned around and he vanished. But the thing is that just must mean I have a really nice arse. It just must be.
I remember at Northampton, I slapped your ass once, didn't I?
Since that day, I've toned towel back a little bit. I wear black leggings now, rather than the tight cycle shorts, because they leave very little to the imagination. But trust me. Yeah.
No.
So, who's your favourite cosplay at the moment, Cara? Who do you like doing the most?
I'm torn, really. This is why I was torn between who I was going to actually do today. So it is between 02 and currently Rin Tosaka from Fate. Both are really comfortable. They're really comfy cosplays because it's just a case of get it on, get your day done kind of thing. The only issue with 02 is because it's a whole suit and everything, so you get no use of your hands, but it is between those two because they're just more fun characters to play.
Yeah.
I used to do villains quite a lot, and I love doing villain cosplays because it's that kind of old boo hiss boo kind of you know. But I'm starting to get more into I'm not sure how to describe the anime characters that always go like baka and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just one of those kind of personalities I kind of click with as a kind of fun personality to work with in a weird way. Because I always get drawn to a personality of a character more than their design.
Yeah, I'm very similar. I mean, I will watch a series and I'll just think I like that character. So I want to cosplay them, but like I said, I cosplay them because of their actions, because of their personality, because of their action, because of them being them. And this is partly why the cosplays that I do. I mean, I've got the most comfortable cosplay that I've got at the moment is probably my Jiraiya one because it's really, really loose-fitting clothing. I could walk around in him all day except for his shoes. Yeah. I mean, his shoes are a nightmare. I mean, my heels, honestly, when I do that in a day, because I have to paint the shoe. So when I get out of the shoe at the end of the day, when I get out of his sandal, not shoe, it's a sandal, all of the paint has come off onto my feet. And I was at Birmingham International Railway Station, and I took the sandals off, put them onto the floor, onto the nice relieving cold floor. Trust me, it was bliss. Yeah. And I started walking around, and it looked like I was leaving bloody footprints behind me. And this woman comes up to me and says, "Are you all right, sweetheart? It looks like your feet are bleeding." And says, "No, don't worry, it's just red paint. Trust me, it's just red." And she was like, "Oh, that's a relief."
Later that day, your foot dropped off.
Which one? What was that, Michael?
Later that day, your foot dropped off.
I'll tell you
my imagination.
I put my feet in some cold water. I honestly thought the bucket was going to melt. Oh, my feet were so bad.
Like with Cinder, she has the heels on Cinder. I absolutely hate.
Don't even with heels. Don't even at me with heels. I will go and get girls' new heels and show you how bad they are. They are ridiculous. I mean, my old ones were a 2.5-inch heel with a 1-inch platform. Yeah. These are a 4-inch heel with a 2-inch platform. I am going to kill my feet if I do well again anytime soon.
I wear 6-inch heels for Cinder, and I'm not kidding now. I wear them just for photos, and I take a pair of slippers with me and just wander around the con hall going, "Nope, I've had enough."
You're gonna be
I've walked around in just socks. Oh, I'll tell you something. I actually joined a little club that you two are in, because you two have both worn body fitting suits before.
Yes.
Yeah, because you've done it as Michael's done Deadpool. You've done it as your 02.
Yeah.
I'm finally going to get one. I've finally got one. I've tried it on. It's for my new Ghastly costume. And my God, do I need a dance belt? I seriously need one, because it leaves nothing at all. Everything is on show.
That's the thing with those kind of suits, especially Zentai suits. It's very...
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I wear tight underwear, really tight underwear.
Yeah, this is partly why I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight, because the suit will go on with effort.
Yeah.
It's the bit where just literally where you have to start zipping it up, and there's a little bit of the thread coming away already. So I need to lose a little bit of weight for that, but it will go on, it will work. But that whole gas.
That's one thing I've done, because I've ordered a new suit for 02, which is just a bit more, it looks a lot nicer than the original one I have, and I know I'll fit into it, but I know I need to wear a lot of shapewear, a lot of I do corsets underneath those suits if I can, but I know that it's going to show everything when I know those suits are kind of like, ooh. Yeah,
they are very revealing when you put them on, especially for the bigger cosplayers such as me and yourself. So I've got this purple one that I've been trying on, and to be honest, it does actually feel literally like second skin. It's like you're not actually wearing it. The only problem with mine is it's one that came with a full head. Now I'm claustrophobic at the best of times. If I have a head on, like a normal head, like my King Dies or Goro Sensei or whatever, I'm fine because I can take it off. If I have the Zentai suit with the full head where it's zipped up, if I can't grab that zip and undo it,
you start panicking.
I'll start to panic. So what I'm doing with Helen is we're going to put it on. She's going to mark off where she can put a little cut in there, just so it expands the hole, so I can see out of it, and I'm not going to feel that as bad. But you can get them without the heads on, but I couldn't find one in the right colour.
Without the entire face as well, which would be kind of so it comes here to here.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I couldn't find one in my size though, because I got the double XL, and that was the only one I could find in double XL in the right colour. It was either that or black, and I didn't want to use black.
That's the thing with I think you can understand, as a bigger cosplayer, it's such a challenge to find anything that you're kind of like, is this going to be the correct size? Is it going to fit? Because especially with those suits, you go by the height. You don't go by, I know it's not height, but width. Which is the awkward, because for me, I always go a size bigger, especially with these suits. But they're so long. I'm only 5'2".
Yeah.
So it's kind of like dragging me. I have to hold them so much.
Yeah. I mean, I've put the suit on. It fits my height perfectly. It really does. And because I'm slightly taller than what double XL is, I think the double XL is 1 75 centimeters, 180, and I'm 183, 184. So that extra few centimeters, it stretches the suit out a bit more, so it sucks me in where it needs to be. When I put it on, I've still got a bit of a podge, but it's not as noticeable as it was before. Because I say I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. I'm a bit of a chunky boy.
Same here. I'm proud of it though, because that's the thing that I used to have a lot when I did Disney princesses. Now, I used to cosplay Ariel, and I adore Ariel. She's one of my favourite princesses, and she gets a bad rap for, oh, she's 16, she's abandoning. No, she didn't. She met, like, Eric way after she had the dreams of growing up. But I do her mermaid tail version and her blue dress version. And I remember doing one of her gowns, and I was with another fellow plus-size cosplayer who was doing Belle. And I remember me and her were just walking around, and you just hear people scream, "Oh, you should be doing this character," and it's like, we like this character though, and it's one of those kind of things of like, we did have a couple of people that day literally approaching us going, "It's so nice to see plus-size cosplayers do Disney," but it's kind of that whole, when I remember being Ariel in her mermaid tail. And I remember just this comment, and I remember it all, I've always remembered this one vividly, of, "Oh, you should just do Ursula.
No.
You're fine with Ursula, you should let the skinny ones carry on." And I'm like, cosplay for everyone?
It's a horrible thing to hear. Obviously, being a plus-size cosplayer, people are more generally going to suggest larger characters for you to do. I mean, I'm on a Ruby group on Facebook, and they literally recently just did who would I cosplay, like a suggestions thing.
Yes, I saw that one.
Yeah, and somebody suggested to me the character Hazel. Now, I'd never thought about Hazel before, but Hazel is quite a big, stocky guy. Yeah. And I never thought about it before. I was always thinking about people like Ozpin or who's the other one? Oobleck. Yeah. Because they wear the glasses, I'll be able to see. And that's why I always pick my cosplay, so I can either see out of it with my glasses, or I cover my glasses over. Yeah. Which is why I've got lots of heads. I've got like 3 now, it's ridiculous. I'm starting to get a collection. Or a collection of like random heads.
Mine's becoming
we were saying in the last interview, me and Michael, if I wanted to go abroad and take like Kara Sensei with me, I'd have to mail order my own head to go to the hotel. We literally say some Irish hotel gets a phone call from me or something and says, "I'm delivering a head. Don't throw it away. Don't put it on. Don't open the box. Don't ask any questions."
You just get there, local authorities are there going, "Right, we need you to open this box now."
It's like, yeah, so don't open the box. It's just a giant yellow head. And that's it. But, yeah, I mean, it's a great thing with the whole cosplay thing. I mean, people can like suggest cosplays to you. You can take them one way or the other. But if they make a suggestion and you don't particularly like it, I'll just turn around and say, well, thanks for your suggestion. I'll think about it.
Yeah,
I think I'm not going to turn around and say to them, "Oh, that's a bad one."
Take everything with a pinch of salt in this world.
Yeah, you do. You do. I mean, I've been told numerous times. There was one incident I had on Facebook when I was first doing Grell. It was about 2, maybe 3 years ago now, and somebody had taken my picture, put it onto their Instagram, and it was literally an Instagram where people slag off other people, and they were saying like, "Oh, you're such a bad Grell cosplayer. You look like..." They used profanities which I'd rather not use on here. But I just thought to myself and said, "Yeah, that's your opinion. If you think my cosplay is bad, that's your opinion, not mine." And I turned around and said to him, and about 20 minutes later, I put it onto Facebook, and this guy had been bombarded with messages of support for me. It was unreal.
I had that happen with actually 02. I did a photo shoot with my partner just before lockdown initiated, and I posted all the pictures, like one picture, and I had a very nasty comment, and I mean like, ooh, kind of thing. And the thing is, when you get comments like that now, people seem to think, oh, it's going to affect them day to day, that kind of thing. I just turned around and went, I'm happy doing what I do. I'm going to spread it, because you won't see many plus size cosplayers doing certain things, or you won't see certain, like, it goes both ways as well, which is really nasty.
Yeah.
But it is that fuel for fire of, you know what, I'm going to cosplay what I love, because other people enjoy it. They see it as an inspiration.
Yeah.
Your one person's not going to affect me, kind of.
No, I mean, I didn't let this person affect me. I mean, I was going to go to my next convention as Grell, regardless of what they said.
Yeah.
I mean, I love going around as Grell, and yes, granted, it kills my feet in those heels, but it makes the cosplay, and people can spot me from a mile away and know it's me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had people literally run halfway across a dealer hall because they've spotted me.
Yeah.
I mean, the best one I ever did in one of those instances was a young girl came up to me in my Koro Sensei outfit, and I could tell she was Asian. Just from looking at her, I couldn't tell if she was Chinese or Japanese or Korean or whatever. But she said, in very, very broken English, she said, "My friend loves Koro Sensei, can you come and have a picture?" I goes, "Yeah, no problem at all." So she dragged me halfway across this dealer hall to her friend who was sat down, and the look on her face when it just lit up when she saw Koro Sensei. But as soon as she got up and started speaking, I heard some like Japanese words that I recognised. So it's like, she speaks Japanese. So in my worst Japanese that I could ever come up with, I said hello to her. I asked her what her name was. I said, what's your name in Japanese? I said to her, my name's Koro Sensei. Nice to meet you. And I said, would you like a photo? And there was like, yeah. And the other person, the one who spoke the English properly or better, explained that they were on a student exchange program where they'd come over to the UK and they noticed the Comic-Con and wanted to come. And it just made her day that she spotted a character that she recognised and she loved. And that's what I do it for.
It's one of those nice feelings when you get recognised and you know that you felt like you've made someone's day just by being a character as well. Because I remember just sitting down in pain as 02 in November, and I've just seen this. She was a Ruby cosplayer, but she was wearing a 02 hoodie, and I've seen her clock me, kind of go.
Yeah.
And then she's walked past, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to ask if she wants a picture. She goes back right, like you can see her hovering, and I'm like, do you want a picture? And she's just gone, yes, and I'm like, yes, go. And she's like, you've made my day. I haven't seen a 02 all day. And I'm like, yay, I loved it, and it's just one of those real good feelings.
It's the whole reason I do Koro Sensei, because he's such a lovable character. Even though people don't know him, just his presence, you know that he's a nice, lovable character to be around.
Yeah.
And another couple of instances, actually two instances at the same con when I first did Koro Sensei, the first ever time I did him. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was the second time I did him, because I did him in Telford once. But there was this one where this little girl came up to me, and I was walking along. I felt a little tug on my robe, so I looked around. I couldn't see anything, because you can't see anything out of the damn head. And then I walked on another couple of feet, and I felt another tug again. And there was a bloke stood ahead of me, and he was just pointing down. So I looked down. There was this little 4-year-old dressed as Wonder Woman.
Oh.
She's adorable. And she looks up at me. Because she stood right at my feet, she had to really crane her neck back like that. And she said, "Mr. Octopus Man, can I please take your picture?" It was so fun.
Yeah.
And then I think about like half an hour later, I walked past the massage booth where the people stood in green. Yeah. The thing is,
there's a massage booth. Past,
yeah, there's a massage booth. They can massage your shoulders and your arms. Things like they're just like relaxing.
This is only at MCM, I don't know about smaller cons. It's at MCM.
Michael, do you want to start up in a massage booth? I can't.
Why have I never seen a massage booth? Because I love massages.
Well, that is the title of this. That's the title of this podcast. Why have I never seen a massage booth?
I approve.
We don't have titles in these.
Don't care. Put it as a subtitle. Anyway, I walked past this massage booth, and this woman. I heard this woman's voice coming from the one side. It says, "Would you like to have a massage?" So I turned to her and says, "Would you be willing to massage every one of my tentacles?" And she looked at me and she was like,
which you can't say in everyday life, "Would you like to massage my tentacles?"
This is why Koro Sensei is the best one out of my lot. So I walked up to her and says, "Don't do anything, I'm going to get a picture of this." And I told her, I said, "Turner, sit down on here." So she sat down on the stool, and there's Koro Sensei with his tentacles on her shoulders. And if you know the anime, you know where I'm going.
I've not watched it yet. It's one I've got to watch, but...
Yeah. Yeah, if you do want to watch the clip, type into YouTube Koro Sensei shed scene.
Oh, I've seen that actually. Yes.
That's the scene where the teacher comes out and she was like, "The things he did with the tentacles." I'm like, oh, it was so fun. That was a great day. That was fantastic. Oh, I actually walked around that and I actually saw the other teacher from the same show, the Miss Elevich, the Russian woman, and she was lovely. She was. I've got a picture of her. We're outside in the courtyard in the little square.
Did she touch your tentacles there?
My tentacles stayed firmly where people could see them. Thank you very much.
Cosplayers not consent.
Exactly. But the best one. This is one that's going to get you creased with laughter with this one. I went to the Manda Centre in Wolverhampton, where they did this costume day, like for charity. And I went to Koro Sensei. I thought I may as well go, just have a up and walk around. And I walked past, and there was this woman coming towards me with what looked like a special needs client. And she stopped me, and she just said, "I really like your costume, and do you want to talk to you?" I talked to her, and the woman just chimed in again. And I swear to God, this is the God's honest truth, quoted, "Do you want to hold on to this thing's testicles?" I creased. I was on the floor giggling. And she just realised what she'd said.
Yeah.
And she shyly started to walk off. I was a giant yellow tentacle heap on the floor, giggling and twitching around.
Oh dear.
Exactly. There's another time there as well. I was stood with the what they call the DC heroes, but they got like Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. I was stood in the middle of them having a picture taken. The look that Batman was giving Aquaman, it was like, "What the hell have you been humping?" The look on Batman's face.
Today it was released that is it Constantine?
Yeah.
In a show, he is actually the ex of like the King Shark villain. And it's actually blown news because apparently he's the bottom of this. I was just reading this article going, what the hell are DC doing? Like, this is out of nowhere. Because everyone was referencing Harley Quinn in it, and I'm like, okay. And it was just one of those kind of things of like, you do question what's been going on, like, in some of these minds, because the writer was like, yeah, I got to write this, and it's like...
Yeah, there's always like having fun days in cosplay. There's always like those memories that you keep pretty much forever. I mean, now that they're on Instagram and Facebook and on the internet, they're going to be there forever. But that's all that cosplay is. It's just getting into costume, having some fun with your friends, making memories, and that's what we all do it for, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Right. I'm missing it so much at the minute. I'm just like,
oh no, tell me about it. When are you hoping to go back to a convention?
Well, honestly, I don't think June's is going ahead, personally. No, I don't think so. Because that, which guts me a little bit, because it's actually happening on my birthday.
Oh. But celebrate it some other way. Maybe make some cosplay TikToks and stuff.
No, I am hoping for November's, like really hoping.
Yeah, I'm hoping for November. I mean, we've got a convention in Manchester in November, then the week after is potentially Birmingham. Yeah. If Birmingham does go ahead, which it should in theory do, because it's like 6 months from now, I wouldn't see like this whole lockdown thing being that strict until all the way till then. Hopefully, I might be able to get a day off work to go to the Birmingham one. I might think about bringing Koro Sensei back, bring 2.0 back.
Yeah. I'm trying to work out what to do, because at the minute it's just a case of lockdown has really got me going through plans I want to do, what I'm actually planning, and it's just been like, how many?
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a lot of time to prepare and a lot of time to plan, and then you still spend the last 10 days trying to get it ready.
All of them are ready, pretty much. It's just a case of which one to bring.
Yeah. Well, it's been a wonderful interview, Cara. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me.
It's been great chatting, and then if we get back into the swing of things, going to conventions, we'll grab you for a proper one-on-one, and we'll get you for a sort of proper talks on tour, not talks online.
Yeah, we might actually have the full costume on the next time.
All right then. Any last words, Michael?
Cara, is there any comments that you'd like the audience to write in? Is there any questions you could ask the audience right now?
What's their favourite memory of a convention? I mean, I think we're all kind of nostalgic at the minute and remembering that. Yeah. So what would be their favourite memory if they've been to a convention, or favourite memory of interacting with a cosplayer would be?
Yeah, that's good. So,
nice question.
Audience, if you can type that up in the comment section, make sure you give a like and subscribe, and we'll see these two very, very soon at a convention near you, hopefully.
Yay, Michael did an outro this time. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.
You can't say in everyday life, would you like to massage my tentacles?